It's Week 13 of the NFL.
And we'll see Tony Pollard. He's the owner of the third most rushing touchdowns league-wide.
It's the Antlers and the Golden Eagles.
And it's all up next.
As the sun starts to set, we're going to see how much light is left by the end of this early evening game here on the NFL on EA Sports. Alongside Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, I know you're excited about this one. That's because it's shaping up to be a pass-heavy showcase for these QBs.
Kate, keep your eyes on the skies because that's where the offense and the fireworks are going to come from. We've heard from their teammates and coaches about the trust they have in these quarterbacks on the field to really steer these offenses. In a quarterback-driven league, that trust is essential to compete week in and week out, and we should have a good one today.
Jake Elliott is out and ready to kick this one away. And off we go from Buenos Aires. Starting from the 5. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. After that return, he's looking pretty banged up out there. We're going to have a stoppage as team personnel comes out to look at him. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Purdy throwing here to start. That's caught. It's Cade Otton. We'll have him gain about a handful there. Derek Stingley putting that play to bed. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. They run it with Saquon Barkley. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Derek Stingley putting that play to bed. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap for Purdy. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. They get 6 and a 1st down as well. Play action now with Purdy. That one's cut along the left sideline. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They'll get 31 yards on the play. And it'll give him a 1st down.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Purdy throwing here on 1st. He's got a man left. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, things weren't about to end after the 1st hit or the 2nd. This tight end had a vision for what he wanted to happen after the catch, and he was going to take on all comers to try to make it a reality.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He's foray up the middle, and that's about 3. That was Kayvon Thibodeau there to wrap him up. It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Hang on. We've got an injured player out there and in need of some aid, so we'll step away briefly as they work on him. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Motion man sent left. Purdy on 1st down. That's caught. It's Saquon Barkley. And he drives this forward to the 6.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. In the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Headed out right. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't. I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give him the lead.
And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So here comes this offense as they get set for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the fifth-year pro who can really fill up a stat sheet, Justin Herbert.
Just an all-around great performance from him last week, Kate, in the win. Those 2 touchdowns he had played a big part in the victory, no question. But so did keeping it clean, not throwing a pick. You want to become friendly with your own defense? Make sure they don't have any extra possessions to defend. He did his job, and so did his teammates.
We get a look at his rushing numbers from last week here, what he was able to do in support of that win. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 27. That's going to be caught. Tony Pollard. Oh, he loses the football. And no turnover. It's going to stay with the offense. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down. Herbert from the gun. Gets this to Kincaid. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Grabbed by Jordan Addison. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
1st and 10, it's Pollard. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Again, a run with Pollard. And they corral him after a minimal gain to the 21. Call that a modest improvement. 3 yards that time, but still a 3rd and 7 upcoming. Motion man left is Brown. On 3rd down, Herbert. He's on the move. He's running for it. And he hits the deck after setting him up with 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Thought he had a touchdown there. It's 2nd and goal. Up the middle, here goes Pollard. And they make a stop at the last minute. It's a gain down to the 1. Give him 6 yards. That's going to set up 3rd and goal. Pollard goes up and over for the touchdown. The Antlers finish off their opening drive. Tony Pollard with the touchdown. No doubt about that one, Brock. They softened that defense up with that lengthy opening series, and then the front just couldn't stand up to the run as they reached the end zone.
Yeah, the numbers tell you, kind of just like baseball, you love home runs, you love explosive plays, but when you can play small ball and you can keep that defense gasping on the field, you can often run it right down their throats in the red zone.
That one right down the middle. And the Antlers won up the opposing field goal. They start with 7 on their opening drive. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Golden Eagles and Saquon Barkley ready to take over once again. And he's played a major impact in their passing game, too. Look at this. We're near the end of the season, and he's leading all NFL backs in receiving yards. Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4. A look at his numbers on the ground from last week here. Second and 6 coming up here. Didn't get that one off in time. This is going to be a delay of game. Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty. Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. From the gun is Purdy. This one falls incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Trying to throw here out of the gun. On the move, headed right. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing he woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep him moving forward.
They go to punt on 4th down, and out heads Tommy Townsend. And this will be his first effort of the contest. He was only needed twice in last week's win, and he gets this one away. And he's brought down before the return gets far. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And they're going to take over possession. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with Pollard. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost, and he busts those tackles.
And he found some running room for a nice gain. Now after that play, we've got somebody shaken up, and you don't want to see serious injury in the midst of their playoff push. He's being looked at here. 2nd and 3 now. From the 39. Pass is caught by Addison. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that'll be a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
From the gun, they go with Pollard. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. Peyton Wilson getting there for the stop. So that's 1 quarter gone in a battle of NFC South rivals. 7-3 is our score. More coming up after this quick break. We're back, and we'll join this drive already in progress to begin quarter 2. They'll have 2nd down as they look to continue this good drive. From the 42. Flush down out to his left. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Taken down by Sebastian Joseph Day. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Chased out to his right. He calls his own number again. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Here's Herbert, 1st and 10. Has him on the quick hitter. And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. Peyton Wilson getting there for the stop. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Herbert back to throw. Has his man. It's Addison. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. They give to Pollard from the gun. And he works his way for a gain of 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
From the 18 on 2nd down. That's incomplete left side.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. They send the tight end in motion left. Throw on 3rd down. Looking for somewhere to throw. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. Ooh, after that play, we can tell he's hurting. He's someone they need to help their playoff hopes. Training staff working on him now. Jake Elliott on now to attempt this field goal. This is a 35-yard look from the right hash. The kick by Hopkins is good. And add 3 to their lead as it extends to 7.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Return coming from the 6. This return makes it up to the 25. This offense ready to get going again now. And they take over down 10-3 following that score. First down throw by Purdy. Neighbors with a catch. And he crosses his sideline a yard or 2 beyond, it looks like the 30. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Tight end going in motion here. Gonna go with Barkley on the counter. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. A 5-yard gain on the play. And they'll have 1st down. Back to throw. Here's Purdy. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Finds his target, Robinson. And they'll stand him up and sit him down at the line. 3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? They motion the tight end over. On 3rd down, Purdy. Buys time, rolling right. Oh, look at this, here he goes. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him, calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
1st down, a run with Barkley. And he's going to have this one down to the 43 on a good run. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1. They go to Barkley again. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he gets it forward to still about a yard out of that. Give that tackle to Johnny Newton. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's the first give to Gus Edwards. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I think with that call, they were trying to set him up with a short 3rd down run, but he said, nope, not on my watch. I'll just go get it all right here. Now, playbook's wide open for 1st and 10.
Purdy setting up that play action. Brought in right side. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Give him 8 yards on the play. And it'll give him a 1st down.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down.
Handoff headed right, Barkley. And he could only get a lone yard. Took a couple of guys to haul him down near the line.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Shotgun snap for Purdy. Escapes the pocket. And that play is brought to a halt. They're going to say at the 5-yard line.
You know, that may have been a situation when you look back on it and he watches the tape the next day, but he's got to find a way to throw the ball because his running ability, while it gets him some yards, is not enough to get the 1st down.
Looks like they will indeed try it. 4th and 2. They'll run for it with Barkley. And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. So the run doesn't get the yardage. It's a turnover on downs.
These 4th down runs, it's all about want to and will. Want to keep it conservative offensively, try to move it across, but that defense was having none of it. And now they get themselves off the field.
The Antlers and Tony Pollard headed back out there offensively. And he's already scored once this game, something he's made a bit of a habit of this season. As we see, he's among the league's best at finding that end zone. Trying the inside handoff to Pollard. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3. First throw for the backup now. He finds Kincaid. And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further. We're to the 2-minute warning from Argentina. And it's the Antlers with a 3rd and 3. Here's Howell. We've got a screen to the running back. And he's able to get it to the 21 as he goes down. They get an even 10 on that play. And it sets up 1st down. Howell out of the shotgun. He's on the move. He's going to keep it this time. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Well, I can tell you what, that was the goal from the moment he took off. Kept his eyes locked on the chains and made sure he set them up with a new set of downs. Well done.
Escapes the pocket. Took off with it again. And he protects himself with a slide there after a decent gain. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. From the 45 on 2nd down. He's on the move. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. Now ahead of third down. We get a pause here. They're going to call a timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Powell from the gun. Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. 1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. And the shotgun, Howell. Wow, wide open here, complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. One final shot before halftime. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. So in halftime, it's the Antlers leading in Buenos Aires. Now we'll jump from South up to North America. Hear from Jonathan Coachman in Orlando with the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. More from you and Brock in a moment. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here and what's already been an eventful afternoon of football. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. It was a strong first half for running back Tony Pollard. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. Both these teams making their way out of the tunnel, and we're ready for the 2nd half. And for the call, we send it back to Kate Scott and the other blonde bomber.
Butker on now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Jalen Reagor. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Antlers and this running back headed back out for a new series. And it has been all about these defenses so far, Brock. Even into the 2nd half, we're still waiting for one of these offenses to take charge.
Yeah, what you're feeling, these defenses are making every yard tough, every 1st down tough, every series tough. And offensively, yeah, it's time to toughen up and maybe more importantly, sharpen up.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Throwing now, Howell. Pass taken in by Pollard. And this one does not go far.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him.
And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. The Antlers now readying for the punt. And we'll see how his debut offering goes. Only needed once last week in the win, and he matches that total here. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And it's going to be their football coming up. They've got 1st down from the 31. One of the tight ends motioning right. Barkley on the shotgun handoff. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run, in need of some attention. 8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Here's another carry for Barkley. And he'll get it up to the 44. Pickup of 12 on that play. And they're going to have a 1st down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring up. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Got his target. It's Otten. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. Now after that play, we've got somebody shaken up, and you don't want to see serious injury in the midst of their playoff push. He's being looked at here. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Purdy on first down. Completed over the middle. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that gives them the first.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Barkley trying this up the gut. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. It's 3rd and 8, need to get a chunk here. Purdy to throw it. Forced out to his right. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. Ooh, after that play, we can tell he's hurting. He's someone they need to help their playoff hopes. Training staff working on him now. On to try the field goal, Harrison Butker. This a 50-yard look from the right hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
The wind was at a sails, Kate, and it certainly helped that football fly true and right down the middle. And from that distance, to hit with that accuracy is one impressive shot.
Here's Agnew on the return. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The offense headed back to the field. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. 1st and 10, it's Pollard. And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Sending a receiver left. 2nd and 10 now. That one's cut along the left sideline. And he's going to get past the 40 before he goes out. It's a pickup of 34 yards. And that'll give him a 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Up the middle, here goes Pollard. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
From the 36. He's got him, that's Addison. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. 16 yards on the play. And it'll give him a 1st down. Here's the give to Pollard. And he drives this forward to the 6. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
To play running back in this league, well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice, once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
He has the touchdown! Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Elliott on now to attempt the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Antlers drive their lead to 11. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. He fields it from the 8. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Now outruns their offense to take over. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. Pretty throwing here on first. He's on the move. He can run it. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the gun is Purdy. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. Couldn't connect with Amari Cooper. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down. They bring a tight end in motion right. 3rd and short, here's Purdy. Escapes the pocket. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. Now after that play, we've got somebody shaken up, and you don't want to see serious injury in the midst of their playoff push. He's being looked at here. The Golden Eagles get their punter out there. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. Went for 48 with his first kick, and this one looks even better. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. And that punt gets up to 59 yards. Man, it'll be their football. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Play action here with Howell. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. They get 27 on the play. And that'll be a 1st down. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. From the gun, they go with Pollard. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4. Again, a run with Pollard. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. That's good for 7 yards. And they'll have 1st down.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
And the play clock hits 0. This is going to be delay a game. Man in motion wasn't set in time, just couldn't get a snap away before the play clock expired. So they should be a little prompter in snapping this, you'd hope, Brock, after that delay of game. Howell back to throw. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. Now hang on, looks like somebody came out after that play a little shaken up. Not sure we saw exactly what happened, but he'll get some assistance now. Offense to the line for 2nd down. Now Howell to throw. The screen pass falls incomplete.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Here he is on 3rd and long. Caught by Pollard. And he works this to the 38 before going down.
It's plays like that, Kate, right, wrong, where I sit and judge a defense. I judge the awareness. I judge how well that coordinator's got him equipped to see what's going on the field, and not just see it, but attack it. And they devoured that screen game on 3rd down.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that extends their lead to 14.
Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
Fielded at the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Here comes their offense out again. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. Into the hands of Neighbors. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. The big play nets him 17 yards. And it'll give him a first down. They kick the running back in motion. First down throw by Purdy. Completes this one to Otten. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. So we're through 3 here. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. First down, ball at the 36. Shotgun snap for Purdy. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Purdy now on 2nd and 10. This is complete to Neighbors. And he's got it down to the 30 before going out. So now here's 3rd and 5. Play action now with Purdy. Throwing deep for the end zone. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
You know, a couple of my favorite nicknames, Kate, over the last decade in football. The Legion of Boom, obviously, out in Seattle. But how about the no-fly zone that was cooking in Denver? That right there, that is a no-fly zone. Trying to make the play in the end zone, and a beautiful job by the defender to knock it away. That field goal didn't do a lot on the scoreboard to make it a more attackable deficit, but it does create a sense of urgency here for this defense to get off the field.
Here's Agnew on the return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Antlers back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4. Second and 6 coming up here. From the 27. He's on the move. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Herbert from the gun. Escapes the pocket. And they get to him again. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough 4th down. They'll send out the punting unit. And he'll try to have his second punt top his first one. And he collects the fair catch just inside the 35. So no return on that punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Now this offense ready to head back out. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. This will be caught by Cooper. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. They gained 14 on the play. And it sets up first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
They'll go from the gun with Barkley. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. Got a man, Robinson has it. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down. They're set up at the 35 now. Purdy looking to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the hits just keep coming for them on this play, it seems. Elsewhere on the field, they've got a player hurt and in need of some attention. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Trying again, following the sack. On the move, headed. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And back-to-back takedowns behind the line of scrimmage set him up now with 3rd down.
Kate, I can already read the headlines tomorrow. This offensive line can't protect. This offensive line. But it's more than that. When you give up 5 sacks in a game, it's a complete breakdown of everybody offensively. Play caller, quarterback, offensive line. Yeah, they're going to have to regroup and figure out how to protect this quarterback first and foremost.
He's in trouble and gets brought down again. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
I don't know why, Kate, but when I'm thinking of this series that we all just watched, I'm just hearing the sound. Not a whole lot of other ways to describe the set of downs that we just watched and the results that followed. It was 3rd and extra long, and now it's 4th and forever.
And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. He's on the move. He tucks it and takes off. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
Well, there was no sense in taking a risk down the field when a first down was just a run away. They'll get to reset now and figure out just how they want to attack a new set of downs.
They bring the tight end in motion. They run the counter to Pollard. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels, and right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
First down, and they go right back to him. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5. To the air this time, Herbert escapes the pocket. He's keeping it. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that play good enough for a first. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. They give to Pollard from the gun. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
And they'll let the clock run all the way down and expire. Man in motion wasn't set in time, just couldn't get a snap away before the play clock expired. Back to the line they go. It's second down. They'll send him over right. Here's 2nd and 14. Pass taken in by Pollard. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and a defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
Getting out to his left. Breaks the tackle, green grass ahead. And he's going to step out with no gain.
You know, that play is so indicative of what we see in training camps all over football. Pursue, pursue, pursue. Blanketed coverage on the back end, and look at that defense fly. No gain on the play, but it very much feels like a sack for that defense.
For the third time today, we see them setting up for a field goal. This a 52-yard attempt from the left hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that extends their lead to 14.
Those 3 points could go a long way to securing this W. Makes it a lot more comfortable knowing the other side's got to score a couple touchdowns now. A touchdown to field goal's not going to get it done anymore.
And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Their offense returning to the field for another possession. Now their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Purdy to throw it. They bring the pressure, down he goes! And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Hey, Kate, I think we know that the quarterback's a demanding position because not only do you have to have a clock in your head, but you've got to have a spatial awareness of where you're on the field. And once you start retreating, going backward and backward and backward, you got to just fling the ball in the stands. Otherwise, well, you take a huge negative sack like that.
They put a receiver in motion right. After the sack, another pass on 2nd down. Able to get it to Barkley. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Got his target, it's Otten. Continuing to move past the 45. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. Working quickly here. Another try following the sack. Escapes out to the left. He's running with it. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains. That brings us to the 2-minute warning here in Buenos Aires. Golden Eagles, 14 points back. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. From the gun is Purdy. Oh, he's out of time, and they drop him. Working fast as the clock ticks towards 0. He connects downfield on 4th. And he's able to get this down to the 13. First down from the red zone. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
And this is down all the way to the 3. To throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Trying to set this up quick. Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. And that one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
They'll start this one on the ground with Pollard. And he'll be brought down along the 25-yard line. The defense takes its third and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So something to be proud of, Brock, as they come away with a win. And they're able to run this winning streak to 3 as they have really caught fire recently. And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. It's a win for the Antlers, as with that, we sign off from Buenos Aires.